we're going to be looking at the artwork of Frida Kahlo. She's best known for her self-portraits and symbolism in her picture. Today you're going to draw your own self-portrait and get to add an animal and some plants in the background. So what you're going to need today is just a pencil and your paper. All right, let's get started. Okay, so you're just going to need a piece of paper and a pencil today. And we're just going to sketch out our design for our picture. And next week, we'll start adding color to it. And so today, if it's not perfect, it's okay. Now, a self-portrait artist is when an artist makes a picture of themselves. And we don't have to be perfect at how we do this. It's how you see yourself. And it might be very helpful for you to have a mirror while you're working. Now, I'm not perfect at drawing myself, but what I'm going to do is draw a face in the middle. You get to have an animal. Frida Kahlo had many different pets and animals in her life, and you would often see them in her artwork. If you want to do a pet that you have, or just maybe your favorite animal, you can add that to your picture. And of course, we're going to add some flowers. Frida also added many times leaves or other plant life to the background of her pictures. And so that's what we're going to do too. But let's first start with a face. And so what you want to do is you want to draw kind of an oval or a circle in the middle of your paper. Now, you don't want to draw it too big, but yet you don't want it to be too small either. So I'm practicing with my eraser, or you can practice with your finger first. And once you kind of get it how you want, where you think you have kind of an idea, just loosely sketch that in. Now, it's not going to always be perfect, and that's okay. Once you get it a little bit more how you want, you can go back and darken things later. So, but for the purpose of this video, I am going to darken this in so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm not going to be perfect. I just need something kind of round. My face doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not necessarily going to trace the top because you don't always see that with your hair at the top of your head. All right, and so what I'm going to do now, about in the middle of that, is where I'm going to put the bottom of my nose. I don't always draw the whole nose when I'm doing my self-portrait, but take a look at the bottom of your nose. You'll notice there's kind of some curves, usually about in the middle. You might see some nostrils kind of on the side here, depending how wide your nose is. You might be able to see those types of things. And just loosely draw that in. You don't have to be perfect at it right now. You're going to put the mouth in here, and you can decide how detailed you want to be with that mouth. Think about the emotions that you might be wanting to feel in your picture. Are you happy? Are you surprised? Are you sad? Are you grumpy? So what I'm going to do, I'm usually pretty happy, especially when I'm making art. So I'm going to draw kind of a nice little smile. Now, if you want to draw each lip, you can, or maybe a dimple. That is up to you, how far you want to take that. And then for the eyes, I'm going to just draw a curve and a curve. I always like to draw the circle in there. Now, if you feel like you want to draw the bottom part of the eye, you can. Just drew the iris, and now I'm going to draw the pupil. I'm going to wait to color those in. If you feel like adding some eyelashes in there, you can do that right now. Remember, pause this video if I'm going too fast, or if you need to back up, you can always push rewind. Sometimes I'll put like the hints of the bottom part of the eye in, but I don't always draw the whole thing. And I have glasses, so I am going to be drawing. Sometimes it's kind of nice if you've got glasses, you can kind of hold it up there and you can kind of see. Those are a little big for my picture, but just to get the shape, you can take them off and look. So it's got this part across the top for me, and I have this. Now, if you don't have glasses, you don't have to worry about drawing them. So I'm just going to leave, you can leave that blank. Everybody has some eyebrows, so go ahead and draw some eyebrows that curve. I use little short lines to show the hair and the eyebrows. Now, Frida Kahlo often drew hers going all the way across because she saw that when she looked in the mirror. Now, it looks kind of silly because you don't see my hair, and I do have hair. Of course, if you don't have hair, you don't have to draw hair. It makes it a little easier. I'm going to put the neck in first. So just 2 little short lines. They don't have to be super long. I'm not a giraffe after all. And then I'm going to draw the shoulders, I think, next. Make sure you kind of just go out. I'm kind of slanting mine down. And then if you have room, you can kind of just go down for the shoulder. Okay, I'm going to add a little shirt just by adding the curve there. I'll come back to that later. I'm going to do my hair now. Take a look when you do your hair. Look in the mirror. If you have long hair, if you have short hair, if you have bangs, curly, wavy, those are all things you can kind of do for your picture. If you have braids or ponytails, those are things that you can add in your picture. I have bangs that go across my forehead, so I'm just going to kind of draw some of those in there. And then my hair is really kind of short, so I'm just going to kind of keep it short, a little bit on top up here. And if you want to erase the top part of your oval at this point, you can. I've got short hair, so I'm using short lines. If you have longer hair, you might want to draw longer lines going down. I do usually, since I have short hair, see my ears, which is nice because a lot of times I have earrings in. I'm going to draw that. I'm going to draw some nice big hoops. Those are my favorites to wear. So I'm going to have some nice, there we go. And I think that looks pretty good. So now I get to draw some other things in my picture, one being the animals. So I am going to just kind of, I don't have a pet currently, but I did have a dog when I was younger. Her name was Maggie, and she was a poodle. So she was a little black dog. I'm going to erase part of my shoulder here so I can have her kind of peeking out over my shoulder. Now, if you don't have a pet, you can imagine the pet that you want, or maybe you would like to just draw your favorite animal. You may have read the story about Frida and her different animals that she had. Poodles have really curly hair, so I'm going to draw some curly hair here. Her ears were kind of flopsy and long, so I'll draw those. Draw her little eyes here. She had really dark brown eyes. She was a cute little dog. Okay, so maybe I'll just color that in. She's peeking over my shoulder, so I don't have to draw. Her ear was overlapping there. I don't have to draw a lot of her. You could add more, of course. Maybe you want if it's a bird, maybe you want it up here. Maybe you want to draw 2 animals if you have more than one pet. So I'll let you decide. And don't forget to kind of use overlapping where you can. Now, this is very empty and plain back here, so Frida Kahlo a lot of times would add leaves or trees or other plants behind her, vines maybe. I am going to draw some flowers, so I'm just going to draw a circle, some petals. We had some practice drawing flowers the other day. I'm not being as detailed with these. Maybe I can fit a couple of these in. Be careful not to draw through your head. One over here to kind of balance out my picture. Maybe some leaves kind of going behind me. All right, so keep it pretty simple because next week we're going to start adding colors to this. Once you kind of have things how you want, you can erase extra lines that you maybe don't need anymore or add some more details that you think you might need. And it's okay if it's not a perfect picture of yourself. Remember, if we wanted to make it perfect, we would just take a photo. This is how you're feeling, adding some things maybe that from your imagination. If you feel like adding details to your clothing at this point, you could add stripes or polka dots or a pattern. Maybe you have a necklace or other jewelry that you would like to add. And so after you're done today, I would like you to take a photo of your artwork. If you're at home, put it on Seesaw, and remember to save this paper for next week because we will be adding color. All right, I can't wait to see how you do. I hope you have fun, and until next time, stay creative. Goodbye.